Hello, my name is Russell Myers, independent for U.S. President for 2024. Let's talk about tax reform. Tax reform in the United States has got a 42-year history of immense success. You may think otherwise, but that's because you think tax reform means one thing, when the intention of every tax reform since Reagan has had the exact opposite effect of what you are told they are meant to achieve. I completely realize that some of my ideas are going to be viewed by some as radical. However, I contend that such radical ideas are precisely what we need at this time. The fact is that most of my ideas would not have been considered so radical in fairly recent decades of U.S. history. What we should be considering radical is the idea that a select few people should be able to hoard the majority of wealth in this country, even the world, while millions suffer and struggle. So it's fine if you consider me a radical. That is, as long as you can offer a rational response, which includes actual processes by which we can alleviate the suffering and decrease the wealth disparities which we have been and are currently experiencing. Anyone with clear vision understands that the suffering I mention is absolutely going to worsen. Neither I nor any intelligent human being will consider it rational if a contrary argument includes trickle-down economics, which has led us to where we are. That is merely suggesting that if you are poisoned, the cure is drinking more of the same poison. There has been increasing discussion of tax reform in recent years. However, in my view, the discussion has not gone nearly far enough. I'm far from alone on this, as a majority of Americans have the same opinion. The reality is that the actions taken regarding tax reform have not only fallen far short, but have gone in the opposite direction, no matter what party is in the majority or occupies the White House. Yet I'm not going to offer criticism at any individual or party or give a history lesson. That's not my point. Up to now, this is just an introduction to my policy proposal. My idea of tax reform is actually rather simple. Tax all annual income at over $50 million at 100%. In other words, if you make $50 million, all right, then you're not subject. If you make $49 million, you're not subjected to that. If you make $50 million, you're not subjected to that. $50 million and $1, that $1 gets taxed at 100%. Get it? Okay. All right. Now, note that I said income, not wages. By income, that means from all income sources. Some people will scream about this. If you dislike the idea, ask yourself, do you make over $50 million a year? Do you think you ever will make over $50 million a year every year? Or even for a single year? If not, then what are you upset about? It does not apply to you in any way. The fact is, nobody needs a yearly income of over $50 million. If you make $50 million a year and believe you need more money, what you really need is psychiatric therapy, and you can very well afford it. I'm not alone in this concept. In fact, my idea is more generous than some. Jesse Ventura has the same idea, but places a cap of $1 million a month on his idea. That would be only $12 million a year, less than 1/4 of my offering. This is not a wealth tax. However, I will cover that idea separately. This is an income tax. You know what an income tax is. It does not tax your existing wealth, such as what is in your bank account. It is a tax on your yearly income. So when I propose taxing all income above $50 million at 100%, that means anything up to that point is not subject to that tax rate. However, it does apply as an absolute on income with no deductions included or allowed. This also only applies to personal income. To be honest, if you have a personal income of $50 million a year every year, or even for one single year, you don't particularly need tax deductions of any kind. Of course, personal income tax reform is not the only kind of tax reform we need. We also need corporate tax reform, seeing that many corporations manage to evade taxes completely while posting record profits. Corporate taxes are more difficult to tackle as they are more complex, but I will offer a simplified version of that proposal as well. Corporations should be taxed as an absolute percentage of profits. The exact percentage is something which would take an investigative committee to examine, with the only goal being to determine what the percentage should be. Corporations do come in varying sizes, including small to medium businesses. So this should be an incremental tax plan. Incremental tax meaning the larger a corporation is, the higher the revenue, the higher the tax rate. I will make a starting suggestion of 20% of corporate profits for corporations with profits over $1 billion in a given year. As with the personal income tax, any revenue above the 20% profit margin would be taxed at 100%. Again, this presentation is highly simplified. In the future, I will discuss the closing of tax loopholes which would be associated with this. Closing those loopholes would be part of a larger system of economic reforms, which I will be detailing over time. Some people will hue and cry that this would lead to corporations leaving the country. Okay, let them leave. If they do so, then we should seize all production facilities and place workers as the new owners and operators. Sue the company for all lost wages of the employees. If they fight the suit, we seize their bank accounts until they settle. Then ban those companies from doing business in the U.S. ever again, directly or indirectly. Even if it is in some way not possible to seize production facilities, if their product or service is one that is in demand, that leaves the door open for other entrepreneurs to take up where the now absent company has left a void. The main point which should be taken away from this idea is this: if we increase taxes on large corporations and the wealthiest Americans in the right way, we could definitely decrease taxes for the middle class and low-income Americans drastically. We may even be able to completely eliminate taxes for middle and low-income Americans. I do mean the federal income tax, not state taxes or property taxes. People have wanted a simplified tax code for decades. You cannot get much simpler than not having to pay taxes. So share this video or this article. Talk about these subjects. These are very realistic ideas which can be implemented. And they would stabilize our economy and improve prosperity for all Americans. Like I said, this is only part of a system of economic reforms that we need, but this is a major part of it. I don't think many people are really going to object to this. The only ones that have justification for objecting to it are the people that earn over $50 million a year. And I doubt that they're watching my videos at all, unless it's to try and attack me at some point. But as of the time I'm recording this, and for the foreseeable future, I really don't think that they're ever going to be watching this or discussing it. Unless it comes near to reality. So again, share this video, talk about these subjects, and I am going to say, if you can afford it, then please donate $1 a month to help expand the campaign, and let's move forward. All right? Let's do something for our future. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you'll be watching as I continue to come out with these videos. There's going to be a lot of them over the next 2+ years. So this is only starting. Thank you very much. Have a good day.